Talk to you. White women prefer black men?
Well, some white women do. I do.
Why?
They're a lot more. What's the skin?
What's the what?
The skin.
The skin.
Oh, it's so lovely. Black skin against white skin. Oh,
what do you mean skin? I've got lovely skin.
No, not like black man's skin.
Why? What's the difference with black men's skin?
Well, if they look after it, it's all soft. It's like chocolate.
Like chocolate? Would you eat it, do they, black skin? Well, is that just it, the skin?
No, it's a whole attitude, I think.
What's the attitude?
I don't know, the way a black man makes you feel.
How does he make you feel?
Oh, lovely.
In what way?
I always feel safe, and I always feel special. You know, and
Is that right?
Like Karen, I think they are gorgeous. I think they are so physically gorgeous. I think they're so physically gorgeous. But like Karen, I also think
it's a physical thing. So what, skin as well?
Well, it's not just physical, but I also think it's the way they treat you. They really, really know how to treat a woman.
In what way?
Taking you out, paying for you, just everything. They just really, really look after you.
Hang on, all I've heard so far could apply to white men. Nice skin, take you out, treat you well, make you feel safe. How's that different?
No. Black men are just different. They're just, I don't know what it is that particularly makes them different. You know, I just think they're just...
What would you sum it up then? What is it that makes them different?
I think also it's the confidence that they have that white men don't have. I just think they have just that confidence.
Confidence with women?
Yeah, and in themselves as well.
The idea of a white man being a bad lover, I think is
I think it's because you're too quick. You're too quick to get it over with.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just that. I think it's the whole thing about how the love making is made. You know, a black man, I think, has got far more rhythm than a white man has. And rhythm, they just, in bed, it's just...
What's the rhythm?
Oh, they can move, it's not in a...
I thought the rhythm method was contraception. What, you mean it's the way they move in general?
Yeah, definitely.
But to explain it to me.
White men are very stiff, aren't they?
Yes.
They haven't got the to go to it.
What was that, Zoe?
White men are very stiff.
Yeah, but what?
But black men are very supple, and it's just the way they are. Yeah.
It's like the reggae dancing.
Yeah, you get a black man on the floor and he'll be able to move and groove, where a white man
so the kind of thing you see with black men are more looser limbed.
Yeah, more looser limbed and...
That's part of the rhythm of the love-making.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I make my girlfriend feel safe right now. She's quite happy with me. We've been together 2 years. I've had no complaints with any girlfriend I've had in the past, black and white.
No, I think that's wrong. Black men are definitely better in bed. They treat you right. They take their time over you, where a white man won't. They're too quick to get there and get it over with.
Maybe that's due to your experiences in the
past. It is. I've been married to a white man as well. I have been married to a white man for 9 years.
Go on, Zoe. What?
And then I went back and I went out with a black man, and I still say to this day a black man is a better lover.
Why?
My husband was too quick to get the business over and done with, and he didn't treat me right. He used to go out on the piss and do things he shouldn't be doing, where a black man doesn't.
In my personal view, I do believe that we do have more rhythm than most white guys. It's evident when you see them on the dance floor. They have not got any rhythm, and that is basically on a general consensus. There are a few that can dance. Now, I think it's also true from what I know, from women that I've dated, etc., and women that I spoke to.
White women?
Yes, indeed. They do say that they preferred being with a black man.
Why?
Why? The whole concept.
What's the whole concept?
Well, all right, then if we're going to talk about it, we're talking about rhythm, we're talking about length, we're talking about size. Yeah. It's not right, the whole job. Right, this is not fiction of what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about what people have told me.
This is
and what I've given.
Is that a white woman?
I was married for 12 years to a white man, and he was well endowed. I lived with a black man for 5 years. God rest his soul, he died 5 years ago. Oh. But he was just as well endowed. But the way he treated me, I'm a rather large lady, and he was a rather slender man. And it was his personality, the way he treated me as a person, as a woman. And what more can I say? He was good in bed.
But that's not the...
I didn't go with him because his ding-a-ling was bigger than a white man.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't know. Sometimes it could be... Well, there's a lot of things, and I've got white girls because I find them, in some cases, a better person. They're more easygoing in some cases. Those out for a laugh. Something like... More time... I can put it, 9 times out of 10, a white girl will go out for more more for a laugh. You know, they'll just go out, relax more easier, you know what I mean? They haven't got chip on the shoulder when they go out. They haven't got chip on the shoulder when they're going out, you know what I mean?
Let Brian finish,
You know,
go on.
most of them just go out basically just have a laugh, they have a good time.
So you prefer white women? You prefer white women, you've been saying, because they're easier to be with, because they go out for a laugh, because you can have more fun with them. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's it. Before I would have taken offence to that, and you know, if I saw a black guy with a white woman, you know, I used to look at him with disgust. But now,
why?
Because I mean, you know, when it comes down to it, what they're really saying is that they're only attracted to you because of what you've got between your legs.
Oh, no.
But they're not really taking.
He prefers white women.
I'm just saying,
no, but we're talking about Brian. Brian says he prefers white women.
I'm saying from the white women's perspective, they only like you for what is between your legs. And what they're not taking into consideration. Well, I mean, generally, I mean, we've spoken to four, and that's really what is really. But anyway, but
no, you can't get away with that same way anyway.
I like a black man because of what they are, not because what they've got in between their legs.
Right.
Because their mentality, everything. It's not, you know, you get some white man and they're so close-minded. You know, where a black man is so open-minded, more open-minded to everything, you know. It's so different.
Brian prefers white women because they're easier to get on with, they're more fun, is what he summed it up by saying. Yeah?
More fun.
You see, I think black men always have an excuse for liking white women. I think...
No. I mean...
This is my personal opinion. I think because black men, well, the young men of today, as a child, they grew up in the society. They didn't get any encouragement to have confidence in themselves. They have this mentality that probably they're a little bit less than white people. So because they have that mentality, I think when they grow up, when they become young men, they need to have a white woman on their arm to make them feel as if they're... It's a symbol to them. Let us finish it.
I believe, right, that is completely and utterly wrong. In my eyes, a black man is a very strong man. Okay, I don't believe that white men have got anything going for them. I've been out with white men, and I've been out with black men, and I've been out with every coloured kind of man. And a black man, in my eyes, the first thing I see is a terror of strength.
But she says
that
you're a status symbol when you're with a black man. When you're on the black man's arm, my friend here is saying you're just a status symbol because he's suffering from an inbuilt inferiority complex, is what you were saying.
Because a black man is a strong man, and I want a strong man to bring up my child and to look after me and to make sure that I'm all right.
Strong in what way?
He's a strong man. He's got his own opinions.
What, you mean mentally strong or physically strong?
Mentally strong. If you can understand being brought up in this country.
Strong?
No. White men have everything handed to them as soon as they're born. No.
That's not true.
White men have got no backbone. I'm sorry. Right.
You're looking at white
no situation. No, let me finish. No, you're saying that you're going out with this woman because she's easy to get on with. That's not a compliment. In fact, if I was a white woman sitting there, you tell me that I would have just run a mile from you. You ought to be a man and stand there as a man. No. I prefer a lot of you black men like you, have a real serious problem of insulting your own black women by saying that you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Sitting here insulting your own black woman. Okay? Now, you have your own choice, that's yours, but don't come here on national TV and tell me about black women being weak and black women is hard.
I think Brian's going to answer that.
No, black women are black women because they're black women. Because they're strong and they're hard and they are serious.
Okay, answer this one then.
You've been out with white women?
Yeah.
You've been out with white women?
No, and
really?
No, I've never been out with a white woman. I'm not attracted to white women, and I've never been out with one. Okay, with due respect.
Yeah, Brian.
Definitely. Why is it when black men become so successful, they seem to feel the need to have... No,
Frank Bruno was going out with his wife when he was a bricklayer. This is what you always come out attack us for. You always attack us for this. I don't understand it. Let me tell you the fact. This is 1997. I am a human being and I like other human beings. Now, if a woman is green, pink, indigo, green, violet is indifferent to me. So long as she's nice, she's intelligent, and she is a human being, I will like her. And it's hypocrisy for you to come here and call white people racism and have this type of views. You're being hypocritical. If a white person said this, you will call him a bigot. You will call him a racist. And this is exactly what you're doing. And there's no selective racism in this world. Once you have such views, you are a racist. And simple as that.
I feel I've been pushing the corner over years concerning that anyway. But I feel that black men, the moment that they get somewhere in life, they feel the need to have a white woman. Why?
No, I think because if I don't think any self-respecting black person would say that they would go out with a white person as a trophy. Because if they say that they're implying that they think that it's going to give them status because that white person is superior and we're all equal. So that means if they think that having a white person makes them have a higher status, they are actually saying, actually, I'm below you and you're higher than me, and that's total rubbish.
No. The reason why I said that, right, was because you hear the comments that black men make. Black women are hard to approach. Black women are hard to talk to. As far as I'm concerned, when they make that statement, they're weak. There's something missing from them. There's definitely something missing.
But there's nothing wrong with them going out with us as white women because on God's earth we're all equal anyway.
It's a status symbol, one, and the fact, the comment that they make concerning us as black women.
Yeah,
we've had to fight all our lives, and we've got to be fighting our own men as well.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with that. But I think one of the problems there is the fact that I think it's disrespectful, even for if a black woman like yourself says that about a white man, because in a sense
I've never had anything to do with the white man, so I could not make no references towards the white man whatsoever.
Well, what's wrong with white men?
I can't make no reference because I've never.
I know, why haven't you been out with a white man then?
No, what I was trying to... Sorry, I got the wrong way around. What I meant was, for you to say that about black guys, that a white woman's a trophy, is disrespecting yourself as well, because you yourself...
No, they've already disrespected
Amanda?
No, but you see that...
No, okay, Amanda. I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that I think 40% of black men dating white women is ridiculous. You know.
Why?
Why is it ridiculous? What is wrong with white women? What is wrong with us as women? And
what is wrong with us?
Nothing's wrong with you.
Hang on, listen to him, man. You're asking the question.
There's enough people to go around on this earth, isn't there? And I didn't choose Colin because he's black. I chose him because he's a Christian and because I love him. That's why I chose him. And the fact that he's black is brilliant because I happen to hate racism, and I've always hated it. I've always hated the injustice of it. So yes, I do. I am proud of it.
So here's your sign of rebellion.
No, he is.
Is he your political statement?
He is in a sense. Yes, he is in a sense, because if I can stand up for what I believe is right, which is equality on this earth, then yes, I think that by being with Colin, although I must stress I married him because I love him and because he's a Christian, but the fact is, yes, it is a political statement for me, because I may not be able to touch everybody's world everywhere, but I can touch some people's world somewhere by standing up for what I believe is right.
No, I'm sorry, love, but I disagree with you there. You say you're not racist, yeah? If you're not racist, and you said that's why you're with a black man, why are you with a black? You could have been with a white man.
Exactly. I was engaged to a white guy. I have been out with white guys. It just so happens that Colin was a black guy. I fell in love with him. But I've always hated racism.
I remember the first couple of comments that I've heard here, right, and they offended me deeply. And I've heard certain comments made ever since that offended me. The first couple of comments that were made were totally physically orientated. I didn't hear, and there's quite a few to keep pushing it in. It's only because I think that they became aware of the conversation, the direction of the conversation, that they started talking about what's going on up here. You understand? Because all of it is about, yeah, he's physically, his skin chocolate. I ain't chocolate, I'm skin, I'm human. You understand what I'm talking about? That's chocolate. That's offensive. That's offensive. You understand? And at the end of the day, the young lady up there said that she's got a black man, and that's a statement. Listen, the most racist statements I heard came from people who were in mixed relationships. You understand? So you don't have to lie down with me to prove that you've got me on the same level as you. You understand? I don't see myself as being better than anybody else. Yeah. I've never dated a white woman. I don't have the desire to date one. I can see a white woman and understand that she's beautiful. She's beautiful if I look on her and judge her by European standards. If I judge her by African standards as a black woman, then she can't come up with beauty. And that's what I'm travelling along. If a white man turns and says to me, I don't want to date black women, I understand that because he's judging her by his own rules. When I go around and I could only see beauty in a woman of another race, that says something about how I see myself and potentially the woman who raised me, the sisters, aunts, sisters. over here.
Let's come back to you.
Okay, when you keep going on about beauty, whatever happened to beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
So whatever happened to that?
Yeah. You're an African, am I right?
I'm a black man.
Okay. Well, right, then. You're an African. Right, then I hear an African overtones within your voice. Should not your measure of beauty be an African one?
No. It should be, my measure of beauty should be a human one. I see this beautiful human being. I like that.
The young lady over there.
What is the time? You can't tell her. You can't hear any of you. Martin, quickly.
The young lady over there also says that she cannot see beauty within her own race. She only dates black men. Her father was a white man. She's got brothers still white.
Amanda, you were the one. He's asking the question. Why do you feel hurt? Why is a black woman who sees a black man with a white man? Why do you feel hurt and rejected?
Because it's like she's been.
Listen, you've asked the question.
She's been alienated and isolated in society. It's like she's been pushed out of society. The black man doesn't seem to want her anymore. You know, she's beginning to feel vulnerable.
What,
right?
you feel rejected?
Yes, I feel rejected.
You feel, Amanda, you feel alienated and rejected because a black man goes with a white woman, really?
Yeah, because there's so much of it going on. You know, it's very
Can I say something? Can I say something to all the...
To Amanda, you're talking to
Amanda. And to most of the black women in here. I think when they see a white woman with a black man, they don't like it because they know that white woman has got much more. She will go out and do education. She will go out and do...
We feel threatened.
I've had a relationship with a black man. I've had a relationship with a black man.
So what are you saying about we feel threatened?
Well, Amanda says she feels threatened.
Okay, she feels threatened, but you're saying about education. What are you trying to say? That we we're stupid or something? Are you saying that we just
Let's finish it. Please, you're interrupting. Come on.
It's quite obvious on this programme. You're spending all your energy hyped up about the fact that a white woman is with a black man. A white woman has got more assertiveness. Education. And she will not let her... Black women like to sit at home and have children. I've seen it.
Listen, yeah. I'm not surprised.
No, to be fair, I mean, I disagree.
Hold on, why don't you try, please?
I disagree with that lady. I mean, to be fair, that is just a totally stupid statement to say. I mean, all right, I would fight black men, I would fight a white man, but...
Oi, come on. I am my friend.
Yes, exactly. Black women, in my school, there was more black girls in my class than white, and it was always the black girls at the top of the class, and I could never pass them. So they're academically, you know, as good as the white girls.
But it is one of the things that says, isn't it? Come on, everybody, please. Are you attracted to white women because they're subservient? Is that part of it?
Me, definitely not. In my experience, I think it's very hard to get close to generalization so much here. But like, I think my guys there saying, "Oh, well, we have more fun." I think it's easier to get her under control. You know, easier to get. Easier to do what he wants. They don't stand up to them as much. My experience is black women. My experience is black women. They will stand up to the last round and stand up and give you what they've got to say. And okay, then maybe
I'm in a black relationship. I've been in a relationship with him for 11 years. And if I don't like something that he's doing or he's saying to me, I will tell him I'm not going to take it. I don't think it's got anything to do with your colour or where you come from. It's what's inside yourself. If you're the sort of personality that will stick up for yourself, then you will. Your colour's got nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
I would say that I'm talking out of past experience, you know. I'm just talking out of past experience and what I've seen. Yeah.
But you know. Beryl, is that part of the attraction? Do you think for some black men that white women are? My friend here says easier to handle. They won't stand up to you, or you can deal with them easier. They'll do as they're told. They're more subservient.
I think really white, in general, white, it's really just
generalising again. On a simple term, white women will go with black men because they're more fun in that sense. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But what can I say, you know what I mean?
Do black men make good fathers?
Well, in my experience, no, because I've never had any support from the fathers.
Fathers? How many fathers?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
2 first are with one man, and they're 24 and 10.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've never had any support
so hang on,
from him.
you've got a son of
24
10 and a son of 24.
From the same man.
Both the same, yeah.
Yeah. And he's never ever given me any support. He's been darting from one black woman to another and come to me in the middle, and I've still stayed there because I just liked him. He oozed appeal. Black men oozed appeal to me, and I've just stayed with him.
Are they reliable?
I wouldn't really say they're reliable as such. Sometimes they can be, but they're not really.
Yeah, but reliable in what sense? What context? What are we asking about? When you say, are black men reliable, in what context are you saying reliable?
When they're in the family, when they're in a family situation.
Yeah, but then you've got...
Talk to her, tell her.
Yeah, but what you've got to remember is, let me tell you something now, there's good and bad in every race.
Thank you.
There's white men who ain't reliable in their society. No, it's not. It's an opinion. You have to remember, we're all human beings.